So if you can't understand my voice right now because I have a cold, so I'll be sounding more croaky than usual, but the show can still go on, can't it? So I will be doing a video on how to get these capes like this sorted. Just doing some camo capes on the I'm trying to remember their name actually. They're the Space Marine snipers, I think they're called. Space Marine Scouts with sniper rifles, these are called. Because it will carry on to another video where I go how to go on the whole picture of them. This can be implemented on both standing up and crouching units. So let's quickly get over to the next section. So the paints that are needed for this are sounds name out in the right way. So you need a Kishilev flesh and white scar. Both these will be mixed together to make a Ushabni bone look like, but you can use Ushabni bone as a substitute for these two. Torn stone is used as a dry brush for it, which creates quite a nice edge onto it, so it diverts the colours from each other and gives it a bit of a wear and tear look. Caliban green is really good for camouflage. It's a darker green and goes along with Death Guard green really well because they're both different shades of green. Rhinox hide will be the official colour of the cape, and that's where everything will be then put onto. And Agrax Earthshade will be the wash for it all. You can instead use Nern oil for this, but I prefer to use Agrax Earthshade because it's going over a brown. It's a teeny bit darker, lighter brown than for Rhinox hide. So let's quickly get over to the unit. So I'm doing a sitting down. Sorry. I'm doing a crouching down unit. Here's where I now only got a cape, and it's got this cape on like this. You can implement this as well on normal unit capes and as well the camouflage manner on different units. I've implemented it on some of my Space Marines I use for Kill Team. The paintbrush that I will be using is the Sistel small base brush, just because that's all I really need. Right now it's my broken-ish one, but it still works very well. So open it up, and as well, always have water on hand with you. So just got my brush readied, and as well got that readied. So let's get over to this. I may have not said what the spray paint is needed for this. It is Corex White. So I am right now using Rhinox hide, and I'm just picking some paint palette. So you just water it down by a teeny weeny bit. Just don't want to make it exactly that watery because you don't care if it's sludgy for the first layer. You just go over. If it hits the boot, it's alright because I think the boot's black, but you can easily paint over. Now, it may be quite difficult for you to notice. I am continuously looking at the device I do record on, so if you guys can notice what I'm doing, but I'm just adding a teeny bit more water to it, so I don't have to use much Rhinox hide, because I am running low on this, because I do use it as well for my rusting effects, which if you want me to do a video on rusting effects, I will go over and make one. So, it's like that. I'm going to skip to when it's fully done, and I'll see you guys then. Bye bye. Okay. It is actually lighter than this is picking it up, but it is quite a nice light brown we've got set up in it, and I've made it a bit lighter in these recessed areas because the Agrax Earthshade will take those areas over. So now with your medium brush, I'm now just getting up to pick my one up, and it is fair. I think this one's got actually a bit of brown still onto it. I'm just going to check. Yeah, it's got a bit of brown. So, just because I was doing some basing a minute ago. Oh god, there's different colour browns, that doesn't really help. I'm gonna skip to when I've got for brown. Actually, no. I'll just use my normal small brush. Okay, so the Agrex Earthshade. I'll open that up. Kick the iron oxide away. Use this. It doesn't use at all that much Agrex Earthshade, so. Sorry. Just use your fingers on the sniper barrel and the back of him. And just wash. You know, if you don't know how to wash, there are many good videos on this. If you want me to do a video on how to do washes, please just ask. But there are better people who can explain how to do washes than me. And who haven't got as a horrible croaky voice as me right now. So you're basically going to go over the whole miniature. Just go into the areas where the wash will be picking up. Hoping that software picks up. It looks really glossy right now, but it actually does not look at all glossy in the eye. I'm really sorry. My hands are being extremely irritating today. Just a piece of hair, because dogs and cats in my house. As you can see, there's hairs all over this because of cows on the table. So, just do some sections, just like that, drooping that on. Okay, and probably give it some time to dry up, but what I'm now doing is I'm taking the paint, sorry, just taking the wash off that, doing the brush, and just because it's got a large amount of it, it's got stuck into there, so I'm just taking it away, just because we want it equally spaced. We don't want too much in one area. And anyway, whether there's big problems, put the camouflage in, because we will be doing another wash later on. So when this wash has dried, I'll put it back up. So, see ya. And I am back. I've just made a mix right now for the white scar and the I can't pronounce that word, flesh. And it's 75% flesh and 25% white scar goes into the mix. And I'm just going to move this over to here. I just mix these two together to make that colour. It's a bit of a creamy colour, and it goes quite well with it. Just mix it together. Get some. Just wash the brush down. You just water down your brush a teeny bit and then you get on. So, I'm now going to go over to these areas, holding by his head and the base plate. I'm moving that because there's just a pair of scissors there that my arm's moving along across. So we're just going to go and just do small little clumps onto him. Adding a bit more water to this mixture just because it's still quite solid. Just to add lumps into odd areas. We'll add a couple of drops, we'll just do stuff like this. Just add it, don't add it into too much in one area or too little in an area. Just add it around the areas. Because white is not, this colour is not going to be the major colour going to be used throughout it. It's more or less going to be green. So am I now clearing off my brush? And I'm getting now the two main colours, which will be Caliban green, and as well, this may seem to be very light right now. Take my word for it, it's going to be very, very dark in a minute, just because we're going to do another wash, and that will be instead with Nern oil instead of Agrex Earthshade. So right here, we'll do just little green splodges, green splodge, green splodge, green splodge, and as well get a couple of splodge, get that splodge to continue into a cape. You want to make every single piece of armour irregular to the last one that has been. As you see with my other two that I'll bring out in a minute. The difference with them both in their armour types. And as well, does anyone ever actually put the insignia on their scouts? Like, for example, I'm an Imperial Fist player, so I'll put an Imperial Fist insignia. Or would you put in your sniper? I don't put anything on it just because I feel it puts a large emphasis for their scouts, so they're not supposed to be blurting out that they're in the which part of the army they're in. They're only supposed to be there to kill and to leave. Whether an Imperial Fist unit is instead there to fight and shoot out, do shootouts. So there's that done. Actually, some here, I'm just going to clear that away a bit, just to smell that a bit more. Yeah. So now I'm going to close that Caliban green, because we don't want it to stay at all. No Death Guard green. Now Death Guard green is a colour that is extremely weak, I've noticed in the last couple of years, so I'm putting a large amount onto my brush with it. And I'm just going to go into areas and just splodge it on. And just put it into any area that seems to be needing some lighter colours to counteract the darker ones over there. And as well, colours of the lighter colour that you think are too much of it, just go over with this and just going to destroy it with it. So like here, I didn't like what I did there, so I'm just putting some more, just putting another light colour onto it. And there we go. Now I'm going to wait for that all to dry down, and I'll get back to when it's gone and dried up.